Hello and welcome to the My Amazon Guy Friday live Q&A. My name is Noah Wickham. I'm a brand director here at My Amazon Guy, and I have our new shirts on today, our anniversary for 2024. So that being said, I'm excited to be here. I'm going to be answering any and all questions you guys can throw at me today. Feel free to put them in the chat now, and we will get to them as they come up. So without further ado, let's hop right on in today, guys. First and foremost, what is the difference between Amazon attribution and brand referral program? And can I be enrolled in both? Can I use my website as part of either of these programs if I link my listings to my website if anyone wants to purchase? Yes. So the difference between brand referral bonus and attribution links is nothing technically. They are two separate things. So if you are on Amazon and looking, so you can actually get to brand referral bonus by going to brands and then going to brand referral bonus. So brand referral bonus is actually just a program on Amazon that essentially gets you some bonuses. Essentially, it's a reduced amount of fees, I believe, across the board for any attribution you bring in, whereas attribution links are the actual brand referral. So when you are creating attribution links, so if we just do generate referral tags, it'll actually take us to the attribution section. So they are technically one in the same. Brand referral bonus is just the bonus program that you get from having people come and purchase via the actual attribution link. Secondly, I was under the impression with your strategy that first product launch, you can set the price at 50% less, but since there is no data, I can't say a sale offer that gives me the slash price, correct? Let's see. I want to eventually get to $34.99, but to use your strategy of starting at 50% lower, then can you please share where I enter the low price of $17.99, the actual price $34.99? So you're not actually going to be doing a slash through for this. So that is something you don't necessarily, and followed up here. What do I put under list price and your price? Would I put anything in sale price? You don't need to be doing a sale price here. So you can be doing just your actual price. So your actual price right now is a discount 50% for $17.99. Past that, you are then going to be just raising that over time. So that's actually how you do it. You don't have to worry about a slash through price right now because that's not the point here. The point here is just driving sales via your actual price amount. So you're not going to be worried about actually showing a discount of some kind, especially from the aspect of you don't necessarily all the time want to show a discount when you're doing the launch strategy pricing like this, because that's going to, sure, in some cases it could drive people to be like, oh, I'm getting a good deal on this. But especially when you're just first starting out with it, I think it's just better do it as your actual price, so your price, and then from there, just raise it up due to our strategy. Let's see. Next question is, we've worked with a 3PL in Laredo, Texas for the past year, but inventory placements are now very high. AWD assigns distant locations, increasing costs. Can we select an AWD warehouse in Texas? I don't believe that AWD has the ability for you to actually select specific warehouses at this point. I can check real quick, but from my knowledge, I believe they don't have that functionality as of yet. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, no. Functionality is not there from what I can see here for you to actually check or select which warehouse. I'm sure that will come along. It's probably going to have a price tag included on it when you do, because similar to how you can choose Amazon FBA warehouses, technically speaking, for a much higher price tag on the actual shipment, AWD is likely going to be the exact same way. Roichi again. My product went live 3 days ago. Awesome. I set the list price and your price at $34.99. I got 7 sales friend, increased sale price $19.99. Get sales, then lower sale price $79 for show slash. Does it work if my list in your price is $34.99? Never sold it at $34.99. So the $34.99, you can set that essentially at the actual list price. That's fine to set at the list price there for it. And you're saying it's spread out. Is that okay? Or is that a red flag? And no friend should write any reviews unless I want to risk it. Yeah, if you want to risk it, have them do it. But I think we've had this conversation before. I'm not a fan of risking it when it comes to reviews like that. So that being said, yeah, you should be fine. I would just spread it out. The big thing is if you've already raised the price, you can try and lower it again. The point of doing the price raise shouldn't necessarily be just for raising the price, right? Yes, we have the week by week that necessarily you could be raising the price, but that's more from an aspect of making sure that your average selling price is staying pretty consistent. If you're not seeing sales at a certain price level that you start raising it to, so let's say you get to $26.99 and sales drop off tremendously and you stop seeing any revenue come in, that's typically going to be a sign that that is your market threshold, right? So people, when it comes to price, will always look and think about what makes sense from a pricing standpoint. How much are they willing to pay for an item? Even if it's a premium item, right? People are only willing to spend so much. If you have a Gucci handbag, there's only a certain cap at which you could, raise the price, even that if that cap is $1 million, to where you're getting sales for it. So the point here is when you are doing those price raises, you also need to be looking how much are your sales dropping over time for each one of those price raises. So if you see at $19.99, you're not getting any more sales, that might be a bad indicator, unfortunately, but it is something to always make sure of a note at the end of the day, because it's going to ultimately affect how you place your product in the future. Here we go. My question is re-verification. I give documents to Amazon. They said we are unable to verify. I follow their rules also, but one issue has that my postal code was different and one spelling mistake in my bank statement. So what do you prefer now? I applied again and again. It is they will now accept my documents. I am worried that now Amazon will not accept because of again submission of my documents. Even now, I update my business information. Also, now everything in my business information bank stem is correct according to residential address. Yep. So when you're applying on Amazon, whether it's re-verification, whether it's current verification, anything in between, a big thing that I always make sure to tell people is make sure that you have all of your documents exactly the same way. And what I mean by that is that I have seen people get denied for re-verification because one of their documents had a lowercase n for 123N Avenue and an uppercase N on another one. It can be that simple for why Amazon will deny you. And I have seen it time and time again. So if now you have all of your documents aligned and you make sure to dot every I, cross every T, everything is the exact same, go for the resubmission. If Amazon's fully denying you for that resubmission at this point, submit an appeal. But unfortunately, I have seen a lot of times where if you submit too many times with bad info and bad documents, they'll just cancel you out altogether because they are going to assume it's fraud. You have to remember that Amazon, when they're doing this, are trying to protect liability of themselves more than anything. If they suspect fraud, they're not going to listen to you. They do not want to get held up in some fraud suit or have any liability or lawsuit come their way. So if you still have the option, just make sure everything is exactly the same, and you should be fine. If you don't have the option, you can always appeal. But unfortunately, it's not going to be an easy road forward. Let's see. Harris. Hi, Noah. How's it going? Good to see you. I'm dealing with a listing hijacker on one of my top US listings. At the time, I didn't have trademarks to remove them, so I quickly filed for one and got a pending trademark attached to the brand registry. Despite this, Amazon isn't giving me the option to remove them. I even bought one of their products, but I'm unsure what to do next. Steven mentioned another way in Amazon video, but I'm stuck. The hijacker Chinese has undermined my last 5 months of hard work on the listing. Let's see. Can you walk me through the process of how to open up a case on brand registry's portal? This seller comes and goes on my listing when I increase and decrease price of my product. So Harris, first and foremost, brand registry is not going to be your friend here. Honestly, I can tell you, brand registry is not that great when it comes to removing people from listings. They are great at removing listings and IP infringement and things like that. This is a seller support issue that you need to deal with because it is a seller problem and you need to get the seller kicked off. So here's what you do. If you bought their product, we actually are dealing with a similar problem right now. This is a product of one of our clients right now. We bought this product. It is clearly a fake product. We can tell from the packaging, everything, right? Take that product, take pictures of that product, relate it back to an order number in your seller support case, relay it back to the actual name and brand store of the actual hijacker as well, showing the listing there, and tell seller support that they are selling fraudulent items. You need to essentially have that order number ready. I would also go ahead and just leave them a negative review. That's absolutely something you can do and shouldn't have an issue there. It's one of those areas where, unfortunately, with hijackers, you're never going to have kind of a silver bullet. But this is that silver bullet. I mean, so to speak, it's the closest you're going to get is having the item that they have in your hand. The big thing as well, take a picture of the packaging. I think I have, right here. Take a picture of the packaging. So you can see like this is what that item was sent in. This packaging right here is not Amazon packaging. It's not anything. It's not packaging from the actual manufacturer. Take a picture of the packaging. That also helps, and it can show, hey, that this doesn't have the correct brand name on it. This doesn't have X, Y, and Z. That's really the best way to deal with hijackers at this point. If in the future you have issues, you can check out some things like Project Zero. I've seen some success with it, but usually Project Zero and brand registry, for that matter, are focused not on taking sellers off of listings, but rather on taking listings infringing on trademark down. So you don't want to take your own listing down. So you have to really go through seller support for this. Let's see. Moreover, if I want a service from you, what will be charges for re-verification? Anyone, any point in time, if you're curious about any of our services or anything like that, you can head on over to our website. We actually got a little fancy upgrade here on our website we've been working on. It looks real snazzy, real nice. I love it. And you can just head on over, click services. It'll come down to all of our services specifically for you with the re-verification stuff. I would probably look at our troubleshooting services down here. We charge troubleshooting hours, and that's probably going to be your best bet if you're looking to work with us on that. Let's see. Let me get some water. Only 10 minutes in, I'm already needing water. Gonna be one of those days, guys. Next question. I'm 3 days of being active out of 100 units, 97 more being received from second shipment. Will be total 197, but currently I only have 63 units available. I feel limited with what I can do. I want to take advantage of this honeymoon phase. Should I do Vine and PPC campaign now? Yes, absolutely. I think Vine's, well, it depends on your product. Vine is good for products that aren't going to be, they're not, it's not a subjective product, right? So if you sell something, let's say like chips, you sell a bag of chips or something, that's an awful thing for Vine. Why? Because who knows if your bag of chip flavor or whatever it is, somebody's going to like it, or somebody could accept it. And then their review is, I don't like these. You know, that's all it could be. If it's something where it can be very subjective, don't put it into Vine. If it's something very niche, don't put it into Vine, right? So like if you're, I don't know, if you're selling parrot cages, right? Don't put that into Vine. That's a bad idea. But if you are selling something pretty objective minded, I don't know, pack of cards, right? Pack of cards. I was going to do stress ball, but I just dropped it. So if you're doing a pack of cards or a stress ball, that's a pretty decent one for, Vine. Absolutely start your PPC campaigns right now. You only have 63, but they're probably being received still in. So focus on just trying to sell through what you have. A lot of people say, obviously, the number one crime on Amazon is running out of stock. That being said, when you are new to Amazon and you have a new product and you have stock that is on the way to Amazon, if you get close to running out of stock, just ramp your price up. You will very quickly find out and understand where your price ceiling is. You're either going to stop selling entirely, or you're just going to have a great product that keeps selling. And guess what? Now you're making more profit, and you know that you can sell it even higher. So you're fine. Do Vine, do PPC campaigns, try and see what happens with it. Hope it works out, though. I also have a second product that was part of the same shipment, 100 brown and 100 green. However, it has taken a lot more time to receive and process the brown, even though their amounts were identical. And labels for both colors were correct. And now they are receiving my second order that just arrived from the initial shipment. Okay. And then active is still showing only 5. I feel honeymoon will end. I won't have enough available units in brown if I do PPC. I can't even do Vine at this point. What would you do? You can submit some seller support tickets to ask them to speed up the process. That's probably the first thing I would do there. Past that as well, you just need to know that Amazon technically can take up to 60, 90 days to receive inventory in once they start receiving it. It's their own policy, unfortunately. So the best thing you can do is seller support ticket, ask them to speed up the process. That's just what it is. Unfortunately, there's not much else you can really do there. Wrote you with that many questions. You should use AI or get an Amazon course. You know what? I would say yes at the same time, but it's what we're here for at the end of the day. It's a live Q&A. Look, if someone wants to throw a million questions out, let's have at them. Laser. What's the basics for writing a listing with great SEO? Are today's AI models capable of helping me write a listing A to Z? with help of keyword tools like H10. Not paying a copywriter would be great. Yeah, absolutely. I think use AI. There's a couple different ones out there that you can use. Use ChatGPT, use Perplexity. Both are great tools. I think they're large language learning modules, right? So both are great. GPT might be a little bit better right now than Perplexity. Perplexity works off of looking at other things on the internet, whereas GPT is mostly just around its own learning. So it's a little bit easier to control the output on Perplexity in some cases, but either way, definitely use some AI, but the big thing you need to make sure is that you are very specific with it, with how you are trying to write it. Make sure that you give it a list of negative keywords, things that it cannot say, right? So if you have like a supplement of some kind, make sure you do not have, any false medical claims in there. Do use H10 for your, keywords that you're going to be putting into the copy and whatnot. But overall, the biggest thing is if you aren't that good of a copywriter, right? AI will be your best friend. It just is. It's just going to make your life a lot easier. You can give it some very specific instructions to go off of, very specific keywords, negative keywords. Ask it to print out a title, bullet points, and a description. Just do a proofread. Is all of that correct information? Does it actually make sense? Are your keywords in there? Just proofread it. Good morning. Amazon account suspended due to unverified suppliers. Suppliers would not share sourcing documents. Any luck reinstating, or do you guys work on such cases? It doesn't sound like that's an account suspension issue. That sounds more like a listing suspension issue. I haven't seen an account get suspended for unverified suppliers, unless by chance you are selling some form of supplement. I can see that happening for supplements, but because you do have to submit, obviously, documentation for that kind of stuff. So if it's a supplement thing, tough out of luck there. Unfortunately, it's wild to me if you're using a supplier that won't give you documentation for a supplement. But from what it sounds like to me, this is more than likely a resale issue where you can't get your documentation from any of your suppliers, in which case, not really. There's not much you can do. You need to get the information from your suppliers. Your suppliers are essentially the ones who actually probably got the listing taken down, or you taken down from the listing in some way, shape, or form, if it was a gated listing to begin with. So, or the brand owner, I should say, if it's a resale issue. So be curious to know if this is listing, resale, brand registered, what you are, and maybe I can think of something else on the top of my head there as well. Do you know any updates around Temu Amazon rumors? Is it true? If so, which categories or what type of seller would be most impacted? Thanks. I think you're talking not about a Temu Amazon merger. I think you're talking about just low price products on Amazon, and Amazon having like a Temu-esque section on their site. I haven't heard any other news outside the fact that they are considering it and looking at rolling it out. I don't know if it's going to be specific categories. Don't know if it's specific products. My guess is it would be stuff that's like $5 and under if they're going to do it, or it's going to be a specific section for like, I don't know, Chinese only sellers, right? Like that's a possibility as well. And, so it's really just going to be price conscious. It's not going to be for the average seller. My guess is they will have a cap on it. So it'll be similar to how you can have like lower fees and whatnot for products under $10. It's probably going to be that exact thing. Your product's under $5 or $10. Cool. You can be a part of this section that is, our low price product section. Outside of that, I don't have any like insider info as of yet. How to get reviews on product? Yeah, there's a couple of different ways. First way would be Vine. If your product makes sense, throw it on Vine. If it's new and whatnot, go from there. Secondly, submit for having Amazon every time an order goes out. Push the Amazon button that lets you send a review request to the actual customer. Past that as well, I would focus on maybe getting like a review generation software like Helium 10s. And that's not saying buy reviews online, because that is major TOS violation. That is sending review requests to actual buyers. The best way to get reviews is to get sales. The best way to get sales is to have a good product and good design. So the reality is that's all it really is. It just comes down to expect maybe one in, every probably even 25. That might even still be too low of a metric, but like it's not often that people leave reviews. There are products that I've seen that have 10K plus sales a month, and they only have 1,000 reviews after 5 years. Like it just happens. Best parting practice: turn off and on top hours, lower PPC at bad ACOS hours, no day parting. I don't know what the question is. I think you're asking if it's best practice. Turn off on top hours, low PPC at bad ACOS hours, no day parting. Yeah. Essentially, I would, yes. Since Amazon's day parting is set up to where you can only increase your overall budget bids and whatnot during hours or days and everything, it's set up so that all your campaigns are really low in general as far as that budget goes. And then have day parting initiate only for your good times, right? So if you constantly are selling the majority of your products from like, I don't know, Wednesday at noon to Friday at 5 p.m., set day parting up so that it increases during that time, and then turn it off at 5:01 on Friday. Everything drops down over the weekend and through Tuesday, Wednesday, and then picks back up. I don't know if that was a great explanation, but let me know. Let's see. How do I know if I'm getting a Vine new seller incentive credit of $200 when I'm setting up my Vine? It'll tell you. You'll get a notification from Amazon. Let me see. I don't know if I would have it on this account because this account isn't really what I would call new. I don't have it on this account. That being said, it will tell you essentially under the growth tab, you can explore programs, and you'll usually also get an email from Amazon saying, hey, you're eligible for X credit as a new seller. A lot of times it's just new seller incentive programs. They give you emails. A lot of times they want you to sign up for SaaS, but I wouldn't do that. SaaS. It's too expensive and not worth the money. But yeah, that's probably what I would just do. How to get order organically. How to make order by ad. 100% chance of getting the order. Never, literally never. There is not. So let's cover both these real quick. So organically, how do you get sales organically? Well, I can tell you a little bit of a way. So if we are on Amazon, an organic sale would be something like this, where I search balloons. And I'm looking for some balloons. Cool. I found some balloons. I go and I buy buncho balloons, right? And I add that buy now. That's an organic sale. That is an organic sale for the keyword balloons, which you guys probably can't even see because it's not zoomed in. But that is a keyword, or that is for the keyword balloons. So you can see balloons in general has a bunch of suggestions here from Helium based on search volume. So balloons for balloon arch, balloons assorted color. All of these have search volumes. The way that you get sales organically is by starting to rank organically on keywords. How you rank organically on keywords? You have those keywords in your title, in your bullets, in your description, and you get a sale on your product. You have to get a sale on your product for this, and then eventually you'll start to rank on those keywords and get organic ranking on them. For how to make an order by an ad, same exact process essentially of you find keywords that you want to get sales on, you market and advertise towards those keywords, which is a layman's term or layman's way of kind of saying it, right? You have to obviously set up different types of campaigns, which, you can check out some videos on our channel here on YouTube. I literally released a video, I think last week, talking about difference between like exact campaigns, broad campaigns, and phrase campaigns, like what all of them do, when you should use them. Check that out if you want to get real nitty gritty on this answer. But buy in bulk, it's about advertising against keywords and getting sales on them. As far as 100% chance of getting an order, never will happen. There is not a single product on Amazon that has a 100% click through and conversion rate. It is not possible, I think. The only thing I can possibly think that would have that is if, somebody had a product that literally every person on the planet needed who's ever searched on Amazon, and it was for 1 cent, right? But even then, I mean, you still have the idea that there's going to be people who just click on it, but they're going to click off. You can never have 100%, is my point. You can't even have like a 90%. A 90% conversion rate would be insane. A 50% conversion rate would be insane. I've seen decently high conversion rates, 25%, 30%, 40%, but not on every single keyword or every single advertisement. So biggest thing there, keyword research, use helium 10. Let's see. So should my list price and your price be $17.99 or only one of them? Which one when starting off 50% left? I think I already answered this question. Did I? I think I answered this earlier. Your price. Put your price at $17.99. Let's see. Also, to be fair, just put both of them at $17.99, Roichi. I should be fair there. Let's see. Does FBA good for bulk quantity? Yes. I don't know how I answer that question. Of rugs. Ooh. You're gonna pay a lot in fees for something like a rug. A lot in fees for rugs on FBA. You definitely can if you have the margins, but it just be advised, shipping's going to cost a lot. In general, it's just everything's going to cost a lot for that. So you can. Really just, again, depends on your margins. You might be making pretty slim depending on pricing and if you're actually even getting sales. Oh, Noah, what do you prefer between setting up listings separately on US and Canada, same ASIN, or using the Build International Listings tool? Is it more work to then fix the listings after Build International Listing ports over? You know what? No, not really. I mean, you can do it either way. I don't know if I would say I necessarily have a preference. I think it depends on how many I'm doing. If I'm only going to be porting over, let's say like 5 products, the Build International Listings, especially between US and Canada, since you have NARF already, it's probably just going to be easier to use that tool than having to go through the entire process. But I don't have a major, I don't have a major preference there, but I think that's more of just personal preference. Build International, if it's only a few products, if you're talking about like a massive catalog, then yeah, I would probably set them up separately. But really, all that is just importing a bulk file more than anything. So it really comes down to personal preference. I mean, the Build Internationally, and if you're going to do NARF, it's going to be essentially identical either way, especially if you have same ASIN. So no real issue either way. Rodrigo, do you think the new Manage Inventory tab is better? Is a better version than before? That's a good question. I don't know. I am, I've been on Amazon for, close to 10 years, actually over 10 years now. Goodness, I'm getting old. That being said, I've been on Amazon for a while. I've gone through many iterations of Seller Central and what the back end looks like. I liked this back end a lot when it first came out, just because I thought that, we have a lot more versatility in what we can do here. I've become very accustomed to this back end. The new experience, I'm up in the air about. I mean, I think it's interesting, because it gives a little bit, it's a little bit cleaner, right? You're not having to scroll. You're not having all these weird columns. They do have, some different filtering options here as well. You can set it as your default view now. I do like the idea that, they didn't really change anything up top here. So, there's no real issue there. But I like this. I do like the feel. I think the things that I do like is like the marketplaces. That makes a lot of sense. I really like how they do the fees over here. And especially when it comes to, price and shipping costs. This is a big thing for me. I really like the inventory. I hate on the old view. I really hate on the old view how you have to click down to see everything. So I like this inventory, but and especially when it comes to like seeing sales, that's also a really big thing on the inventory. So overall, I do like this. Do I think that's notable enough to spend time doing a super deep dive on it? Not really. Again, it's just a UI change. I think it's a good improvement UI change, but I also, again, I've been through like 5 different manage inventory UI changes at this point. Let's see. Oh yeah, good question. Yeah, definitely a good question. Is it against Amazon TOS to have an instructional app image on the listing and main image sample? Let's pull up the sample. I'm gonna tell you first and foremost, no, but I guess we will take a look here. What is that? GVV7V. Let's see if I got that right. I didn't get that right. Where am I missing something? I missed a 6. Hold on. Hold your horses. Here we go. All right. Let's share this. I'm guessing. What's the instructional app? Oh, the bonus web app? No, technically no. Yeah, this is fine. I don't see any reason why this would be against TOS. There are, for instance, if we do like GPS trackers for cars, pretty much every single one of these that you have comes with an app, right? So you can see every single one of these has a phone. It all tracks via phone, via an app. You can even have subscription required. So the fact that you have in here where it says, value $15, I would probably get rid of that value $15. I don't like that there. I think that's a little iffy. But that being said, having this in general, and even if it's in the video or something, I don't see any major issue here. I don't know why it would be. I have sent 30 to 40 products, but I didn't get any reviews. Please suggest any technique. As in you've sent like units, 30 to 40 units? Are you sending them what, to Vine? You can only send up to 30 to Vine. So if you're talking about just in FBA right now, yeah, just use Vine unless it doesn't make sense for your product. Otherwise, you have to get sales to get reviews. And then from there, you have to request a review typically to get someone to leave one. So that's kind of, unfortunately, there's not a magic secret answer to reviews outside of Vine. But even then, no one, you can always actually put a little thing, be like, hey, we appreciate a review, a little card in there, be like, leave us a review if you think it's necessary. Don't ask for positive reviews, don't give an incentive for people to leave a positive review, etc., etc. I've had that. I have on this live Q&A probably talked about what not to do with review generation more times than probably any other topic. I might just make a video, and from now on, anytime someone asks about it, point them to that video. Just throw the video up in chat every single time. All right, let's see here. We sent inventory to FBA from the 3PL at the end of May and is still reserved. Is it normal for 10 weeks to pass and it still not be available? What do you suggest we do? Well, if you sent it at the end of May, I don't know how it could be 10 weeks yet because it's not, or it's just now the end of July. So it's, if you sent it at the beginning of May, I could see that. That aside, what I would say is, again, submit a case to seller support. Amazon, technically, like I said, 90 days, 60, 90 days is their turnaround time. A lot of times when I see them receive, let's say, like 2-3 units or something, that's a problem. If it hasn't even gone into receiving yet, that is going to tell me that's more of an issue with the product actually getting to the warehouse. I would be curious how that actually all is going down. If it started to be in receiving and it just says reserved, that's just Amazon. Ask them to take it out of reserved. So there's a lot of reasons it could be reserved. FC transfer, FC processing, typically speaking, are the two primaries. But submit a seller support ticket. Ask them the exact reasoning behind the reserve, if they have fully received it in yet, and why it is still in reserved. Most likely, it's going to be a warehouse issue, and that's all it comes down to. What happens if your shipping plan closes/expires and your shipment had not arrived? That's not a thing. I mean, I guess it is a thing, but more so what I mean, if your shipping plan closes or expires, did you just like create it and not send your inventory for like 6 months? Because it takes a while for a shipping plan to close or expire, like especially once you actually get around to it. And your shipment hadn't arrived yet, I would first and foremost contact seller support, ask them to reopen the shipping plan. You're going to run into some issues here. I would be tracking where your shipment is and upload that to the actual support case as well, to allow them to understand like where it's at, what is taking so long. They're going to want to know why it is you created this shipping plan so far in advance, etc. I would also be curious on that because, again, it takes a while for a shipping plan to expire. And it shouldn't technically expire if you have active shipping going on. So, that's the biggest thing there. Seller support. A lot of times, guys, when you are dealing with anything Amazon warehouse related, anything that is 3PL, it's FBA, it's logistics related, seller support should be your first avenue for a lot of those issues, just because there is no direct line to the Amazon warehouse team. Unfortunately, again, Amazon sucks at giving us information as sellers to deal with seller problems, of course, because, I swear, every other 3PL in the world, you can get in contact with the people who are at the warehouse doing things. But it seems like with Amazon, it's like, yeah, you can ask for a bin check. Give us 5 to 10 business days, and maybe we'll send you a half blurry photo of one unit, right, of your product. Overall, my point here is that for situations like this, reach out to seller support first. If they cannot help you, don't believe that, first and foremost, because they definitely can, especially for most of these situations. Always ask that they escalate it. Always make sure you include the shipment ID number, so that FBA 0178 whatever number. Always use that. Always include your own tracking number as well from the product that you actually shipped. And then on top of that, make sure that you are actually detailing time frame, right? So what is the actual time frame? Again, Amazon has a lot of time to actually receive these in. Says it right on the shipment. So if it's been 2, 3, 4 weeks, even 6 weeks, and they have only received 10, 15 units, guess what? Unfortunately, they kind of are allowed to do that. And you'll probably just get a shove back of, oh, well, we're still taking our time, but it's still good to escalate it nonetheless. We should always, always, always keep the pressure on Amazon for stuff like this. Rodrigo, I have a listing of 12 costume masks and are under a parentage. We know each variation ranks under different keywords, but if we run H10 Cerebro for the parent listing, would it show me all the child ASINs keywords that we are ranking? Technically yes, and technically no. So Helium Cerebro, even when you run the child ASINs, you can technically still with Cerebro see the parent. So the parent is really what's usually going to end up showing up anyways. You can run it obviously for the children in specific circumstance, but for Cerebro specifically on its platform, yes, it should show you what the actual parent itself is showing for the children, right? It will show you essentially everything there. And it also pulls data for things like title and whatnot a little bit later than I would like it to. But the actual ranking from a keyword perspective should be fairly up to date. And so, yeah, answer your question in a long-winded way. Yes. I have FBA products on Rug 6 month, but I didn't get more success. What can I do? Update your keywords, update your main image, and make sure it has a main image CTR hack in it. We have a million descriptors of that. Update your pricing, update your title, update your bullet points, update your description, update your PPC advertising. To answer your question there, I mean, that it kind of is the answer. Without getting specifically the actual ASIN to do a review or something, it just comes down to all of that, right? It's a factor of, do you have good design? Do you have good pricing? Are you ranking organically anywhere? Are you even trying to advertise on the correct keywords? Are they relevant keywords? There's a lot of factors. It's a little bit too open-ended of a question. Say, how can you get more success? Because all of those are needed for success on Amazon. Would you advise doing bulk bid optimizations via bulk upload? How do you determine what targets to pause? Any specific parameters? I am trying to do bulk optimizations, but I feel overwhelmed. Well, I will tell you this. If you feel overwhelmed via bulk upload, then don't do bulk upload. That also typically tells me that you may just have too many campaigns. I like bulk uploads. Use them, weekly, right? When doing any optimizations. I will say a lot of times I'm, from my position, more focused on specific campaigns. So I'll just use the actual backend system for a lot of my changes. But bulk upload is something I fully 100% support. Love bulk uploads. Makes life really easy. As far as how do you determine what targets to pause? Any specific parameters? That depends on the target. But if we are, for instance, let me come over here into the ads real quick and I will pull this up. So if I were to just look at this account real quick, right? I'm looking at all of these. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to filter. Let's say that our A costs goal is, 60%. So I'm going to do greater than 61%. I'm going to apply that. So we're only looking at anything in the last week that has a greater A cost than 61% as a goal. Okay, so we have a couple of campaigns that are running, they're really high in the last week. Okay, are these campaigns that potentially aren't doing well? Okay, let's look at the campaign, and then we're going to go into our actual targeting. And then we're going to look at our keywords. Are our keywords relevant? Do they make sense to have on the actual campaign? So for instance, doctor, that's just a keyword. I'm going to be honest. It's 214 impressions, 2 clicks and nothing coming from it. I would look at further than a 7-day. I would probably do like a 30-day for this to see if anything makes sense. The best way to know if you should pause a keyword is like this one, bath. So we have a keyword bath here. It has 38,000 impressions, and then it spent $13 the last 30 days. That's not a huge amount of our ad spend, but let's imagine that you have an ad spend of, $500 a month. That would be a lot of ad spend to waste, right? So that's how you essentially look at pausing, right? Pausing is more subjective. The parameters really come down to, are you spending money on it? Man, hold on, let me move my camera back. The parameters come down to, are you spending money on a keyword and it is not, you are not getting any form of order through it, right? So do you not have any sales coming off that keyword, even though you're spending a bunch of money on it? Are you converting off of the keyword in general? Check your 7-day, check your 14-day, check your 30-day. If you're not seeing anything from it, pause it. At the end of the day, I wouldn't even just pause it, negate it. People are too afraid, I think, of using negative keywords. Absolutely negate your keywords. If you have a keyword that's just not converting and it's just hemorrhaging money in a campaign, negate that keyword. It is not useful for you. You should not have it. Is ad important to get orders, or can I do it organically? I don't know a single Amazon seller on the platform who has ever become, $1 million a year seller organic only. I don't even know if it's technically possible. I'm sure from like a reseller perspective where you're selling, I don't know, like Dove soap or something. Yeah, that's probably extremely feasible. But from like a you're just launching a brand new brand on Amazon. It's very, very unlikely that you're going to do well and get that many orders organically without ad spend. Advertising on Amazon is not meant as an avenue of getting more sales. It is kind of a means to an end of growing your product so that it can stand on its own organically. The best possible scenario is that you end up ranking number one for like 1,000+ organic keywords, right? And then eventually that turns you into not needing to spend as much on advertising to get the same number of sales. But is advertising important to get orders? Absolutely it is, especially when you're just starting out. During phase 1 of SEO with a new listing, what keyword phrases should I put into alt text, the same as what is in my front end content, or a new list of keyword phrases? Do a new list. When you're looking at, does this listing have A+? It does. Cool. So when you're looking at alt text, something to keep in mind here, you can see here, for instance, we have like deluxe balloon animal kit with app balloon twisting kit. The one thing I'll say, each one of these is different. The reason each one of these is different is because you're just trying to add on to the keywords that you're already trying to hit on. You don't need anything super special. But it helps, like, for instance, hours and hours of fun and laughter together, right? So this right here, we have a bunch of text in the actual A+. This can't be hit on. This is not crawlable text. This this alt text is, though, right? So make your alt text based off of the text in your A+. Keep it, yes, still in the vein of what keywords you are trying to rank and search for overall. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. But you don't have to get like super out there with what you're putting into it. I actually would advise you don't get super out there. It's never good to put keywords in just for keyword's sake. If your product is not relevant, it's not going to get a sale for a keyword. Don't put it in. I try to increase bids for good performers. Is small increments good, or do you suggest jump higher bids? I'm split on this one. So it depends what you're actually at for a bid and what you're seeing from a cost per click perspective. There's nothing in the world that will bug me more, though, than going into a campaign and seeing like 10+ changes on the campaign. And it's just someone who has raised a bid to, like, I don't know, up 2 cents or something 10 different times for a total of a 20-cent raise, when you are already far under the recommended bid by Amazon. So in that type of scenario, definitely do large jumps. I'm a big believer in the idea of 10 cents, 20 cents, whatever. It really comes down to what the average bid on the actual keyword is, mostly. So again, if we were to like go back to this tab that I was showing, the suggested bid here is $3.94 to $9.23. With 7.38 as the suggestion. We're at 36 cents. That is intentional for this campaign, I should say. But if I see someone who's like, yeah, let me raise this or lower this to 35 cents or 37 cents, that would bug the that would bug the crap out of me. My best advice is always going to be, unless you're actively trying, like this campaign, to have a low bid, just raise it 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents at a time. Your cost per click will even out very quickly. You'll understand where you can actually get the most from it, right? If you raise it 10 cents and you immediately see major improvements on that keyword, lower it by, 3 cents or something. See if you still see those improvements. It really is that tricky at times when it comes to changing it, but I'm a fan of larger jumps, not super large. Don't do like dollar at a time unless it makes sense to, but hope that helps. A little bit more water. Who do we got next? Here we go. I launched product 30 days ago and only received 17 orders with PPC, and my A cost is 200%. Is it normal for new launch product? Kind of. To me, that sounds like you have a conversion issue more than anything. If your A cost is super high and you are not getting sales conversions, check two different places. First and foremost, check your keyword relevancy. It sounds like you are getting some sales. I would be curious about, advertised sales if that's actually working. So check keyword relevancy and that you are actually doing well there, I should say. And then two, change around your main image. Change your main image, change your title a little bit. Check Cerebro, see if you're ranking anywhere from an organic perspective yet. I'm sure you are if you have sales. So definitely check that. And then maybe also try your price. Try a little bit of dynamic pricing, lower your price 25%. See, does that instantly increase conversion? Can you do 25% and still be making money? That's usually what I'm going to suggest, especially for like newer products, right? It all comes down to testing the waters, fine tuning. I guarantee with how many people there's on this day and age that there's a million different sellers, a million different competitors. Do some testing. ICAP funnel, actually, last thing there. Go to search query performance and check your ICAP. See where people are falling off. If people are falling off at the click-through portion of it, you definitely have an issue with your design. If you're falling off at the conversion side of it, then you're most likely falling off because of price or that it's not the correct product that people are actually looking for. Next, Matthew. Hi, Noah. What are your thoughts as to the value of text in A+ content for SEO? It's great. Again, just kind of coming back to this one that I was talking about here a second ago. This A+ has zero crawlable text. I hate that. It does obviously have alt text. Sure, that's great. Alt text does actually hit as far as ranking and indexing for keywords. But you should definitely have crawlable text within your A+. Yes, pictures are for the people, text is for the robots. I will say that time and time again. But that being said, A+, you should have a healthy mix between picture and text because you can definitely have ranking off of your crawlable A+ content text. So definitely put it in there. Versus only having images, alt text. If you have current listing that is ranking with text, but you want to replace with image only and image alt text with relevant keywords, could this hurt existing SEO? Yeah. So as far as like the ranking for SEO when it comes to like alt text versus A+ content text, I would probably say that A+ content crawlable text is going to rank higher than alt text, but I'm not 100% on that one. That being said, you can definitely decrease. If you just want to remove one of the sections and just make it just a picture and then keep some text otherwise, do it, at the end, especially if you have like access to like premium A+. Absolutely. Let's see. In regards to suspension, it is account deactivated due to supply chain unverified. Vendors are not authorized to sell brand, no supplements. Have you seen cases get reinstated? So yeah, that sounds to me like you are essentially IP infringing in a way. Essentially, no. You can get technically, I guess, reinstated. I'm sure we could probably take a crack at that, but from getting the listing back on and everything like that, again, it still kind of sounds like account deactivated is odd in this scenario. I don't know if I've actually seen an account get deactivated for this unless they were like doing major IP infringement, where they were like creating their own listings and like whatnot. So if that's the case, then we could take a crack at it. You got 50-50 really with that, but it really is going to come down to, is the supplier going to give you what you need? If they don't, then there's not a whole lot of chance you can really get up and running with it, unfortunately. On which day in a week people of USA buying rugs the most? I don't know. I don't know if I could tell you that. I don't even know actually if I could figure that out while on this. I'm sure I could probably figure it out with Helium. Because what I would probably do if I were you is I would just go Ooh, how would I figure this out? Oh, I would just look at the sales tracking on Helium. Actually, yeah, shoot me the ASIN at podcast@myamazonguy.com because now this is a little bit of a challenge for myself. And I'll look it up after the show and get you, somewhat accurate. Won't be 100%, but it'll be somewhat accurate as to which day of the week. But I would just use Helium, check the actual sales data, see what day of the week people, are buying the most off of the keyword rugs, probably. Yeah. Another one, been hitting issues with remote fulfillment with FBA. Okay. Amazon keeps claiming products are not eligible for export due to export restrictions. I know this is not accurate, but they take weeks and weeks to investigate why seller support via seller support cases. Doesn't seem to go anywhere. This is a common issue I see nowadays, especially with like NARF and things like that. Amazon has different regulation for what they essentially consider to be allowed, especially for import and export restrictions, right? Especially if you are dealing with something that's like an over the counter or a supplement or anything, that has to go through Canada Health, and that's a whole pain in the butt. I don't know if I really have an exact solve for you here. I mean, if you want to, like I said, shoot a quick little thing over to podcast@myamazonguy.com, I'll take a look at it. And try and help you out there. But the reality is you just kind of have to keep fighting them on it constantly. And the more certifications, documentation you can get as possible, even from like the manufacturer, the better in these scenarios. Because that's usually what it comes down to is they are just assuming that the product has some chemical in it or it has some product or anything in it that they're going to be like, oh, we can't send this across borders, when reality they can. So as much certifications, much manufactured data as possible is best case scenario here. I got an email from Amazon to maintain commercial liability insurance within 30 days. Does MAG provide this service? And what is commercial liability insurance? So we don't provide insurance as a service. I'll make that very clear. But I believe if you head over to our third-party services, I think we have a partner for this. Amazon also has some dedicated partners if you just go into it. But essentially, for those that don't know, that I believe the number is 10,000. Sure. Yeah, I don't think, doesn't seem like we have a partner for this. That's a good opportunity though, Harris, for us to partner up with someone on it. That being said, Amazon essentially, once you reach a certain threshold of sales, will require you to get liability insurance. This is just pretty standard practice. I think it's 10K. Last time I checked, it might be a little bit more nowadays, or a little less. But either way, it's like 10K in 1 month, and then you have to get. Amazon has its own partners you can work with internally on the platform. We don't have any recommended third-party services for it seems. That being said, it's an area for me to dig into. Definitely something I think we could probably partner up with someone on. So good call out there. And the Viper says same thing. Harris, go through Amazon. They gave insurance accelerator where you can find. Yeah, exactly that. Hi man, what's up? Hope you were fine. Doing well, Jacob. Do you maintain Amazon account? Yeah, we have close to 400, if not 400 different clients that we work with, different brands, I should say. Is mapping good of any product? I don't know what you mean. Like map pricing? Some people do it, some people don't. Works for people wholesaling, I guess. What is more efficient in driving sales? Coupons or Prime exclusive discounts? Ooh. I would probably say Prime exclusive discounts, depending on when you're actually using them. The reason for that is that a Prime exclusive discount, you can make it so it's essentially automatically a promotion automatically on the product, right? Whereas a coupon, people have to go through a click through. It's not always seen. The big thing there is that I would typically say if you're FBA, then it definitely, favors Prime exclusive. If you're, FBM, then there's not much there for it, right? People aren't going to be clicking because they see Prime anyways. So it's not really that big of a deal, but I'm probably always going to lean in favor of Prime exclusives, but I only really push those during like major sales events like Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, things like that. So outside of that, I'm probably going to push a coupon just because it's a little bit more versatile overall than Prime Exclusive. You know, Prime Exclusive is very much just Prime buyers. So Viper, hola. Hola. Thoughts on the Amazon Launchpad? I was enrolled, and it seems it doesn't have the drawback of an extra 5% fee anymore. It offers unlimited Vine reviews, 50% off coupon prices, free lightning deal, etc. On Launchpad has unlimited Vine reviews now. I haven't dealt with an account in 6 months or so that had Launchpad, but last time I checked, it's not unlimited Vine reviews. It's that a decreased Vine review price, I believe. 50% off coupon prices. Yeah, that's fine. Free lightning deals, etc. The free lightning deals is interesting. Launchpad in general, I will say, has its merits and its demerits. Definitely the merit of it is a lot of the stuff that you're saying of, the reviews, the coupons, the free lightning, all of that. The demerit here is that technically speaking, with Launchpad, Amazon owns any content that is put together for your product. It is a way, in my opinion, Launchpad is a way for Amazon to help sellers gain notoriety for a product, and Amazon to essentially be like, yoink, mine now for that product. So that's my only thing with Launchpad. I don't like it from that aspect. Amazon has been known, obviously, in the past to just straight up copy people's products and then just blow them out of the water when it comes to like pricing and things like that. And nobody can compete with it, and your product just goes poof. So that's the only thing. I'm not a huge fan of that aspect of it. That being said, I do like the other aspects. It's not something I usually am going to recommend. Sorry, guys, there's like a fruit fly flying around, but it's not going to be something I typically recommend to most sellers. But if they're already signed up for it, I will absolutely use it to the advantage that it serves. Roichi, extremely rude. We're all here to learn. Okay. No fighting in the comments here, guys. No fighting. Does FC processing mean that the warehouse is scanning the items and they are available for to be sold? I have a bunch of units that have been processing for a while, but it doesn't show it's sellable. Yes. So FC processing versus FC transfer. So processing is exactly that. They're scanning them into the warehouse to be either then processed and then transferred to another warehouse, or just brought into that warehouse and become sellable. So FC processing is exactly that. FC transfer is when they are transferring the product from one warehouse to another. Wickedly Inked. I have an error on trying to create a variation. I have products at the fulfillment center, but they are recommending I delete and redo the listing. What happens to my supply at the FC? Will I be able to relink it? Yes, you will be able to relink it as long as you use the same UPC, same ASIN, all of that. You should not have any issues whatsoever with relinking it. How to get bulk buyer on Amazon. B2B discount tiers is a good one. Amazon bulk services. It's FBM only, not FBA. But that's one that I actually just put a video together. Check it out on our YouTube channel. But I dig into Amazon bulk services as a platform. And if it's good, if it's bad, personally, I think it's good. It makes a lot of sense for majority of sellers who want to, sell B2B. So check that out. But as far as like bulk buyer, that's just going to come down to, again, advertising marketing towards your demographic. If people are searching for bulk rugs, make sure you have the keywords for bulk rugs and, everything else involved with that. When editing the category listing file, do I delete all the ASINs that I am not editing or just leave them in the file? I would, delete them out. There's no reason to do any, add anything in there. So that's what we'll call essentially, like, let's say you're doing a full update, especially, I just would take them out. I wouldn't risk having anything changed on accident. If you're just editing some, and you're not having to do a full catalog upload, then don't, looks like Viper. real quick. So for Launchpad, do they only own media content they produce? What do you mean they own it? Yeah. So anything. So you'll notice with the Launchpad, some of the services and having like that Launchpad rep, one of the things they're going to try and do is be like, hey, we can help you with designs, even if you pay them for it, right? Because they will offer that as a service and whatnot for like A plus designs, video, all of that. They own it. They own that. They own a whole lot of things on the listing. I would have to look at the actual Launchpad like TOS again. And I'm happy to do that. Actually, I will spend some time after this doing a deep dive on it, talking about. I'll post a video on it probably this week or next week for you, Viper. But essentially, yes, Amazon owns the actual content produced, even if you pay for it from them. So that is one of those things that Launchpad I'm not a huge fan of. Is they try and act like, oh, we're helping you out, we want you to do the best, but in reality, they kind of just like own everything about it. And it seems scummy to me. Where was I? Lost my place. Here we go. Can add a color variation column to the category listing file. If it is not there, the product only has style and size, and I need to add color. So you don't want to add the column. You need to make sure that you're only adding it's the variation type that you're looking for. So you need to just add color in as the variation type. So make sure that it is essentially if you're doing two different ones. The one thing I would say, if you are doing style and size and color, don't. 3-tier variations look bad on Amazon, are not good, are confusing to the sellers. So don't do 3-tier if that's what you're talking about. But if you can just do essentially the 2-tier, do 2-tier and just add both them in there. For alt text, do I enter phrases for best optimization or not duplicating keywords from each phrase? For example, is it best to enter baby stroller, toddler stroller, black baby stroller? Yeah. I would say you can add in duplicates. It's not a bad thing if you need to duplicate a keyword. Adding a keyword in 100 times to a listing isn't going to make it stand out that much more from a ranking perspective than having it in there once or twice. That being said, duplications, not a problem. If you need to duplicate just to make the alt text make sense or anything like that, yeah, go ahead, not a problem. But definitely also use other keywords like you're saying. So anything you want to try and index for should be in there. Wide handle toddler stroller, okay, yeah. Best to enter all, yes. Can I post my website as my Amazon link to my listings in it to my local private Facebook mom group? I know it's okay if they buy, but will Amazon know those purchases are coming from private mom Facebook group? What if they write a review? Do I still get flagged? My website is not mentioned of promotion. No, if it's your own personal website, that's fine. There's no problem there whatsoever. You're driving. Also, to be fair, this is kind of just like social media marketing. You're essentially just driving traffic from one area onto Amazon. So as long as you do it through an affiliate link. And that'll be all the much better. How do I get my products to show in a second category? You have to have your product be relevant to that category and ranking for keywords within that category. You can, that's pretty much all it is to it. It's not like a magic thing of like, adding multiple categories, but Amazon will sometimes throw products into different categories if the keywords make sense for it and people are purchasing and it seems relevant. They'll even change your category entirely. But yeah, that's what it comes down to. A secondary way would be like if you have a variation in a parentage that's like completely different, it needs to be in one category and the other one needs to be in another category. That also isn't a way to do that. We're going to answer a couple more questions here, guys, and then we're going to bounce on out of here for the weekend. Do sponsored ads get pushed outside of Amazon? No, unless you're doing something like off Amazon, like, I don't know, marketing in some way, I have same ASIN on 2 different product, how to change. What do you mean? I have same ASIN on 2 different product types. You can't have an ASIN that's the same on 2 different products. And if you do, it's the same product. It's actually physically impossible. You can have the same ASIN on 2 different listings that are the same exact product, right? But you can't have it on 2 separate products.
What's up, Noah?
Stephen Pope, the man.
How about this guy? He is just doing an incredible job. Got to point that way. There we go. I've just been really impressed with Noah's videos and content. Just wanted to give him a public shout out here. So if you guys love what Noah's doing, and you know he's been able to multiply me in a way, give him a shout out in the comments. Say great job, Noah.
Oh, hey, thanks, Stephen. I appreciate it. You want to answer this question?
All right, let's read this out. So I have the same ASIN on 2 different products. How to change? One of them needs to be split out. Yeah, I think what happened here is he didn't put a UPC code when he loaded both to Amazon, and so one of the SKUs is attached to the wrong ASIN. So what I would do is step 1, I'd back the catalog up. We have a catalog backup service, by the way, or a tutorial rather. Just type in backup catalog my Amazon guy into Google. You'll find our resource there. And then after you back up the catalog, you'll look at the report, and on the report, it will see like the SKU data. And if you don't have the GTIN filled in with the UPC code, it leads to problems like this. So you gotta fill that in, guys. Fill that in with a UPC code.
You answered that so much more elegantly than I was.
Dude, I was just watching one of your videos that got referenced in the Slack channel, and I was like, oh, I haven't talked to no one for a while. Let's see what he's doing. Go over to Slack. Says podcast. Oh, that's right. He's on the Friday Live. Let me go join him.
And then you just get to hop on in here. It's fun. We're doing well. We're gonna hop out here soon. What now? We're gonna answer. You want to stick around? Answer a couple more.
I'm just gonna read these shout outs. So Corey over on LinkedIn says, "Great job, Noah." Viper, we love you, Noah. Patricio, great job. So I think you've earned it.
I appreciate it very much.
I love you guys. I love you, Noah. Great job. A bunch of these coming in, so it's been pretty good. I know you're about to wrap up here, but I'm gonna do. And if you want to head out, go ahead if you need to. I'm gonna do a live ASIN review just for funsies here.
Sure, I'll stay
little
on.
Bonus for people sticking around.
Live ASIN.
Yeah, see if I pulled up the right one. The one thing I hate about this is that we can't like just link it.
Yeah, copy. You always have to type it
manually type it in. So I'm always worried if I typed it in right. All right.
I usually just throw it in the URL.
CWS4 CC. I typed it in right, but now I'm just like unsure. So you just type yours in to the manual URL instead of typing it?
Yeah. If you just type it in, doesn't matter what the URL is if it has the thing in there.
Just like that, or do I have to add something?
No, go to any listing,
and then replace the ASIN.
Yeah, and it always will go to the.
There's the hack. Okay, so I clearly have something wrong. Maybe it's a 0 instead of an O. That's probably what it is.
It's always 0. Don't use O's and ASINs.
Yeah. Okay, he got me. Okay, so we got some ashwagandha, which is one of the hottest new supplements. Pretty well optimized listing. He's got the A+ content. Not enough copy in your A+ content, sir. I know you want me to focus on the main image, but sometimes I like to glance down and check things out. Not enough copy anywhere. You got way more copy to add in. Alt text is filled in. That's good. There's no people pictures. That's a mistake. I would add that in. The pill needs to be outside of the bottle so that people can clearly see it. This shot on the right there probably will get suppressed at some point. Let's just make sure it's not suppressed right now. The way you check for hidden suppression, just go to Amazon.com, type in the ASIN. If it shows up organically like it does here, it's fine. So it's okay. But I do like what you're trying to get away with. Brand name is a little prominent, probably too prominent.
I think there's too many keywords in this main image.
Yeah.
There's too much to read all at once. It's great to try and show it, but way too much to read all at once.
So I would probably, and it's also like kind of weird to read the ashwagandha there. It's a little hard. Like there's too much reflection. I would redo the composite image on this. This actually might be a real photo, which is a mistake in supplements. Don't do that. Just do a composite. And then show the pill outside of it. And then I have no idea what Shilajit is, and I may have just crushed that pronunciation, but like I would love to see the ingredients out to the side here. So let's see if that's in this. It is. So you see all these things that are right there. That should be in the main image behind the bottle. And we may see that represented in another item in the space. Let's go over to Amazon, type this in. And so there's an example of the pill outside the bottle right there. There's the plant, boom, right there. This is way more professional. I'd rather click on that one than the one our friend Shivam has posted. Multiple examples of pills outside the bottle. Example of the root right there. Example of the root on the packaging. Example of the root on the packaging. I'm looking for one that shows the root in the main image. There we go. Perfect. One like that. So a lot of good examples, highly competitive, going to be difficult to win this one, but you have some opportunities and some action items we just gave you, but well done overall. Clear advice though on this one.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. I think I'm going to wrap it there though. You want to stay on and answer anything, or are you hopping off as well?
I'll stay on for a couple more questions. Noah, thanks for all you do and doing the live Friday Q&As. You know, a little bonus me stopping by today.
There we go.
Give
I'll
it
let
up,
you
give
do
it
the
up
outro
to
a
Noah,
little
guys.
bit
If you're
later.
watching this on the replay, add a comment as well. Say, great job, Noah. Make him feel good because he's giving a lot of value adds, a lot of value bombs here. All right, we'll see you later, Noah.
I appreciate it. See you, everybody.
All right, so we got bonus question round time. Let's see what we got here. Where do I find the data of how well the text is doing versus the image, as you mentioned on a previous answer? Is there a way to see my impressions if I'm not doing PPC? Since I don't know what the previous question is, this will be a little difficult for me. Text is doing versus the image. So I would use some ICAP on this one. So I would look at the click-through rates, and I'm assuming this is main image based. If your click-through rate is doing better than your competitors on a particular keyword, and the keyword is in the main image, that's why. If your keyword is in the main image and your click-through rate is lower than a competitor, that's a problem. Right? That's a pretty bad problem. So you got to fix that. Can I contact you for maintaining Amazon, an Amazon account? Yes. Madan, go to myamazonguy.com. Just hit contacts. We actually, if you want to skip the line, go to myamazonguy.com/book. You can book a call. Same day appointments are available. We even have night coverage if you want to talk to somebody in the next couple hours. That particular link that we have at the bottom, there's for coaching calls. But if you just go to /book, that'll talk to our sales team, and that'll help you out. How to do photography? Should I do rendering or photography by camera? Depends on the category. Rendering usually looks better though. Almost always, but you do need some raw photos, obviously. But supplements, no question, do composites for sure. We do have a couple of photography partners that we recommend over at myamazonguy.com/third. If you want to see all of the partners that we do have affiliate deals with most of these guys. But there's 2 photo guys we like to work with. Never had a complaint. Yeah, Patricia points out no crawlable text on the A+ content. That was from our example with Shivam earlier. 100%. That's a good one to get. Tushar says, hello, browse node path not visible on 400 ASINs of my catalog. When enrolling products in Vine, I'm getting error invalid browse path. Tried template file upload and seller support sucks. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right. So first thing I would do is do a catalog backup, Tushar, myamazonguy.com/ maybe it might be /catalog. I'm not 100%. Let me test it real quick. But if you Google myamazonguy.com catalog backup, you'll find it. Yeah, myamazonguy.com /catalog. That'll get you over there fast. I'll post a link in the comments here too, so you can check that out. But /catalog will get you there. And that's how you back up the catalog. Check the browse node ID there. File brand registry tickets to set the node ID if it's not present. Make sure the UPC is present. Make sure that the category didn't change or get deleted. Sometimes we'll see a category node get deleted, and then you can just do a catalog file upload to fix this. Generally, going from blank to something is easy. Changing it from one to another, A to B, much more harder. And that's a little bit of a challenge. So you can't do that very easily. Sometimes it's one-to-one brand registry tickets. Viper says, just joined Mag. Welcome. Looking to grow What does it take to reach the coveted 10K in profit a month? And my goal is 1 mil in sales as a new seller. What would it take to achieve that? So great question. I assume when you said just join Mag, you must be a customer. So as a seller, you need to have generally somewhere around 15% net profit. So when you try and get that 10K in profits, you'll hit that shortly before you hit 1 mil in top line sales, give or take. So that's generally what you're going to be heading towards. What does it take? It takes products that people like and buy. It takes a marketing budget somewhere around 10 to 15% in ad spend, depending on the category, and depending on how aggressive you want to go or how fast you want to get there. Obviously, a 15% taco is going to get there faster. And then well-optimized listings, which obviously Mag's going to help take care of that. We're going to work on your main image first, generally speaking. We're going to do the back-end SEO work. We're going to build out A+ content, brand store, brand story, and then we're going to push the product as hard as we can. We'll get some catalog troubles along the way. You may see a listing yank or a suppression. We'll fix those along the way. Some categories have those issues a lot more than others. So in general, I would say high-quality product that is marketed, that focuses on PPC, SEO, CTR. Those are your traffic generation. And then design and catalog work or merchandising to get your conversion there. So those are the 5 prongs I typically focus on myself. Let's take a look at the next question. In terms of accounting, mixed opinion on this one. I'd probably QuickBooks just slight edge, but I don't think either is better than the other. Really, it's just more of I've used QuickBooks more. I also don't recommend importing your Amazon unit sales into QuickBooks. In QuickBooks, I would just do a true up once a quarter, run a P&L report, export all of the expenses by bucket, and then load that. Instead of trying to do by unit sales into QuickBooks, I think sellers are crazy when they try and do that kind of level. ProHall says, Noah said product listings could include apps on the main image, but that could or could not have shopping capabilities. So with apps, if you got like an app that goes with the phone that's attached to it, yes, that's very common. We have a couple of GPS clients. We show the phone app with it, no problem, get around it. We do have a link here, so maybe I'll type this in and do that. I learned something from Noah today when I was had to load the ASIN. I could just cheat it into the system like this instead of trying to search it. So that was cool to learn. I probably had known that, just haven't done it in a long time. All right, so let's take a look at this. Share screen, pulling over, and web app included. So yeah, I think this is totally fine. I don't think you'll have any issues with this. Should be totally fine. The fact that you're trying to showcase that there's video tutorials, there's a web app, totally fine. No problem there. Mara says, do you shift out keywords on alt text often? How often? So we run 4 phases of SEO. Phase 1 is about indexing the product. This is the first thing that we do after a master keyword list. I guess you could say phase 0 is like master keyword list. Phase 1, we put in the search terms of the alt text. Phase 2 is about incremental indexing, and we'll shift like 10 to 20% of the words. Usually we're focused on the search term field in the second phase. Phase 3, this is when you'll see a big rotation of alt text. This is the strike zone update. This is when we're going to go for keywords in rank 20 through 50 with the goal to move them up to rank 1 through 20. You'll see a lot of rotation in the alt text, the search terms, even the title during this phase as you're trying to rank the product. So having multiple reference points of the same keywords, very common during this phase. Phase 4, that's about the market share. This is when we're looking at the ICAP brand analytics, impressions, clicks, add to carts, purchases, and we're going for market share. And so if you think about like all of these SEO phases, it's generic when you first start and you're getting narrower and narrower as you progress through the SEO phases. When you finally get to phase 4, it's super narrow. It's like the top 3 keywords that you're trying to gain market share on that are super important. And you'll sacrifice all of the previous phases for the gains of the latest phase. So that's how we think about this structurally as we progress through it, just to have some goals in mind when you're doing SEO work. But I would not shift my alt text more than every 60 days. Realistically, most sellers probably never do it. And at MAG, we're probably averaging between 3 and 6 months. Somewhere in that range is very appropriate. It's alt text is minimal gains. And typically when you set the alt text, you know exactly what you're going for. But when you switch the phase or you're trying to go for market share, you're going to redo it to go for that. So how can I be specific product compliments people usually buy together? Well, you can advertise on that now. It used to be a earned media spot. Now it's like a sponsored spot. So you can do that. That's one way to go about doing it. Viper says, can I recommend a new series for MAG client testimonials and their experience with MAG, where they started and where they are now? Would help with new sellers and getting clients. You know, that's a fantastic idea. The challenge is that most of the people that sell on Amazon are very shy. They don't want black hat competitors identifying who they are, what they do, because they get attacked. And so any of my customers that want to come on and talk to us, we're very open to having that done, especially like a before and after sort of thing. But I ask my clients all the time, and we barely get any hits. In the last 2 months, I've only recorded 3 sessions. We do have one that I just shot yesterday with a watch box company that'll be coming out. He got suspended in just the other month. It was really, really bad. So you know, there's a lot of challenges that Amazon sellers go through. So they're usually very gun shy to do public things, and I can't blame them. Like even Brandon Young got suspended this week. Had some challenges with his own account. I got hit. Because, you know, for as many people out there that love me, there's, you know, for every 100 lovers, there might be one hater out there. One of my haters, you know, got my Tumblr business taken down. Props to him. Good job, whoever that was. So the more public you are, the more risks that kind of stack up. But the exposure is obviously great. And obviously, as an agency, we'd love to showcase that and have some fun with it. All right. So let's go to the next one. Good one, Viper. Yeah, we got some agreement on that. I understand Amazon is a price play, but in your experience, have you seen premium and expensive brands succeed? Yes, many of them. It's harder because the amount of sales you get are lower just because, you know, people are bottom dwelling and buying cheaper products. It's like the ibuprofen of the Advils, if you will. You know, you're going to get more sales on the lower cost generic brands. But luxury brands succeed all the time. I mean, why else would Apple not be on Amazon, or Nike, who's now coming back to Amazon? Necessarily wouldn't call them a premium brand per se, but like, you know, Nike's 50% more expensive than the average generic shoe. So I guess you could say they are premium or luxury in that sense. But yeah, if you're selling a beauty product that, you know, maybe goes to market for $30 and you're selling it at the $100 price point, you're going to have a very difficult time. But it is possible, especially if you have an influencer, especially if you have some premium elements pushing the brand and having a good time with that. Steve says, I'd like to give a 10% code off next purchase on a product insert exclusively for Amazon. How can I create a code that does not expire? The ones I've seen in promotions have a max of 6 months. That is accurate. There's no way to do it past 6 months, unfortunately. So maybe just do a product run where, you know, you put that in there, and if somebody complains or has an issue, you just give them a fresh updated code. I think that'd be okay. Just the best advice I'll give you, though, Steve, is make sure you don't talk about reviews, don't have any stars, don't have any of those sort of things in your inserts. That's a really bad thing to do. You'll end up getting into trouble with Amazon for incentivizing reviews. So if you give a discount, make sure you never talk about reviews whatsoever during that process. Hi, Stephen. We are planning on using AWD for all of our catalog because FBA placement fees has been crazy lately. Do I recommend AWD? I'm indifferent. I would say there's probably some net benefits to try it out. We've had some people have really great experiences. We've had other people have really bad experiences. But to be honest, all of that noise feels the same versus any alternative. So I can't say it's any better or any worse of those challenges. Viper says once he hits $1 million in sales, he'll come back and do a video of before and after with Mag. That'll be fantastic. I look forward to that. I'll hold you to it. Royce says, woohoo, love you, Noah. So patient. Yeah, good guy, man. Good stuff. Well, cool, guys. I just thought I'd stop by and do a little bonus session and have a good time. And you know, you guys have been great. Thanks for giving Noah some props on our session today. We do live Q&A sessions every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. We also have a PPC AMA most Tuesdays that Kevin Sanderson hosts. So if you have PPC questions, that's always a good one to come to as well. We'll bring guests onto those shows. And then on occasion, I'll do a live Q&A where I have on camera, where people can come on camera and talk to me as well. I really love doing that. I think it's really fun. I think we're due for one of those. So maybe our social team, maybe we need to schedule something and arrange an email blast and get that out. I think last time we did it for agencies. This time we should do it for sellers and have some fun with that. So we'll get that on the calendar here, probably coming up pretty soon in the next few weeks. Other things we should probably mention, we have the agency summit, the My Agency Guy Summit coming up. If our social team, if you guys could plug a link there or put it up on screen or whatnot, myAgencyGuySummit.com. We have a great opportunity for you guys, especially if you're trying to start an agency. If you are an agency, this is a summit where other agency owners, founders, and service providers are speaking to you. Definitely want to sign up for that. I think that's coming up here pretty fast. So limited time to apply for that. The Orange Click Summit is also coming up, Sellerfest. I'm a speaker on that. We're sending an email blast out today. If you guys haven't joined our email blast, you want to get involved on that. How do they do that? Let's see. Let's see if I can go to my website and figure it out. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do this. Hold on. So if you go to myamazonguy.com, maybe at the bottom here, yep, perfect. Just scroll to the bottom and you can put your first and last name in to subscribe for email updates. So if you guys want to get copies of that, we do have some promotions we send out from time to time, a lot of Amazon news and other things you guys can keep up to speed on. Last thing I'll mention, we did talk about main image hacks today in our session. I covered a little bit of that. I know Noah did some too. If you guys want to get 50% off your own main image and hire Mag to do it, all you need to do is go to myamazonguy.com/IMG and promo code CTR, and that will get you 50% off our normal $100 price per main image. This is the fastest way to grow sales. We helped one guy get 60,000 extra clicks a week, not even a month. It was a week, and just been really good. So you can see examples here. Happy Me Journal is one of my favorites. You can tell the difference there. It's a yellow journal on the left. On the right, you can tell, oh my gosh, it's for ages 6 to 12. Just a lot of different options here where you guys can learn about that. We even have a Mag School course for CTR if you want to learn how to do it yourself. Maybe you're a designer. Maybe you want your own designer to be able to replicate the process. You have options to do that as well. So if you guys want to support the channel, those are your options. Thanks for watching our My Amazon Guy show today. You guys have been a pleasure, and we'll see you next Friday. Have a good one.